What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite expat, Rocky, in real time, and today I've got a new video for you. It's inspired by a woman who left a comment on my video, and I love the feedback that I get because I made this channel to help people have an easy transition and teach people how to become expats. And she says, "Hi, I'm a dual Brazilian US citizen and my husband, a US citizen, and I are planning to move to Brazil. And this was the most in-depth, detailed, and useful video I've seen here on this topic. I hope everyone discovers your channel." Thank you, Gabby. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. And thank you for inspiring this video because she left that comment on my video that I made, how much does it cost to move to Brazil? And you know, she has another comment in which she asked basically how to open up a Brazilian bank account. So since she's a dual citizen, I'm assuming she's probably, you know, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. She was probably born in the United States and she's moving back home, which a lot of Brazilians are doing. You know, she wanted to know how to open up a bank account. Very practical information. If you've been following this channel for a little bit, thank you. I do preach and I do fervently support and just, you know, recommend that you get your finances in order. A lot of that is how you're going to be making money abroad, whether it's like you have some sort of remote job or you have some sort of business, like online business that you're running, and it's basically giving you monthly revenue, right? So yeah, again, I want to say this as well. This isn't financial advice. This is just basically how I open up a Brazilian bank account. And I really would only recommend it if you have like some major purchases to make, like a car, a house, or other things. Me and my wife are planning to buy a house next year. So that's pretty much why I'm opening one, or I opened one. So yeah, and again, like, I make these practical tips and tricks so that people could transition easier into their expat life, right? And one of the things you got to get right first is your money right. So yeah, and there's a whole movement going on. A lot of people are taking advantage of just geo arbitrage things. So if you don't know, geo arbitrage is basically you make money in dollars or euros or pounds, and then you go and live in like a developing nation like Brazil, like South Africa, or many of the other developing nations around the world, where the cost of living is significantly cheaper. Me, I'm from New York, and I plan on retiring before 40, which I'm very on track to do. I'll probably be retired by 35, 36, but 40 is like worst case scenario. And geo arbitrage is how I'm going to do it. You know, as you can see, I have multiple screens set up here, both on my left and my right. It's because I'm working multiple remote jobs, and I'm putting money into retirement funds and, you know, S&P 500 and a bunch of other stuff. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. All that to say, these are just helpful tips to live a successful expat life. And another page you should check out is, let me just check this to see if this is right. I think it's MSNBC Make It. I'll put screenshots of some of their videos here, but MSNBC Make It. Yeah, I think it's MSNBC Make It. They basically have a bunch of stories. A lot of them are in the US of, you know, millennials and, you know, their salaries and, you know, their cities they're living in and how they live on these salaries. And a lot of them are living in international places. And a lot of them are making six figures like I am and living in different countries, whether it be in the East, like Thailand, Philippines, or in Central America, South America, you know, and they come from all walks of life, black, white, blah, 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 all that other stuff. So I'll link the channel in my description, but I'm sure in post-production, I put like a lot of screenshots of their videos and their video titles. I'm living in Mexico City. I'm living in the Philippines. I'm living in Thailand on $130,000 a year. This, and that. And life is like super sweet. You know, for them, you see the lifestyle, the way they're able to live, the way they're able to travel and do things. So yeah, there's this movement going on. A lot of Americans, a lot of Europeans, they're moving from their respective countries to developing nations and starting businesses there, or they have online businesses already, or they're working remotely. COVID has changed a lot. And they're, just basically living in other countries and enjoying a better life there. So not to be long-winded, but I just wanted to just remind you, if you're a returning viewer or a new viewer, what my channel is about. But let's get into it. The topic of today's video is how to open up a bank account in Brazil, right? Again, thanks, Gab, for that question. It's a very practical question, so I'm going to break it down. I've got my notes here. The process may vary depending on, the different banks. My wife and I, we use NUBANK and Bank of Brazil. But this is pretty much more or less the process. So the first thing you're going to have to do is documents. You're going to need documents. So, typically the documents that you need, especially as someone from a different country, you're going to need a valid passport that has at least 6 months on it. You're going to need basically, background checks. So you need a FBI background check, which you can just go, I'll link the link in the description. It's like you go online, you give them all your vital information and whatnot, I think your social and your name, address, whatever. And then you pick a post office that, has that partnership with the FBI. And then you go and give your fingerprints. Then they send you a document stating you're not a criminal and, there's no records of you, blah, 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 blah. And it's stamped and sealed by the FBI. You don't need it for every bank, but as an expat coming to Brazil or many other countries, you're going to need a background check for a lot of stuff. So just make sure you have that on deck. It's better to, so I learned this from one of my chess teachers growing up. He said all the time, it's better to have and not need than to need and not have. So it's better to just have it on deck. It's like $50 last time I did it. I think I did it. And it was like $50. Yeah, I did it. It was like $50. It might, since inflation has, hit the States, since the time I did it in like 2021. Yeah, 2021. So 2 years ago now, it might be different. So you also get your local background checks as well. As far as New York is concerned, where I'm from, that's like $20-something at the police station, in One Penn Plaza in New York City. Is it One Penn Plaza or? Yeah, so there's like this police station in Lower Manhattan near the entrance of the Brooklyn Bridge, like not too far, like I think like half a mile or so. I forget if it's One Penn Plaza or something, but yeah, so you get your police report from there. But keep in mind, it does take a while. They're backed up. And again, it's a government city service, so it's not going to be the best option. If you're trying to save money and you're like really pinching pennies, then yeah. That's if you're living in New York, but I always just recommend going for one of these private background check companies to do your state and local background checks, because number one, they'll do it quicker and you'll receive it within like a week or two. So yeah, I'll suggest that. So get your background checks, your passport, make sure it has at least 6 months on it before it expires. And you want to get your CPF. So I think I'm going to make a video on how to get a CPF, because that's another question I get a lot. But you're going to need a CPF, and the process isn't that hard to get a CPF. So yeah, you got your background checks, you got your CPF. Then you're going to need a proof of residency. So I think for NUBANK, we needed a proof of residency. So I couldn't get one until we got this apartment, because there's like this document. I don't have it on me. It's like in one of my file folders or something like that. There's this document, and it's not like the leases here don't look like the leases in America. No, the leases in America just like have a bunch of legal jargon, and then they have like the price of the apartment, and you got to sign and notarize and all that other stuff, and that stuff. But here, the lease is kind of looks like the deed of the house, or the deed of the place you're renting. So we're renting a condo here in Baja in Salvador, and basically the lease has like your like address, and then it has like the amount that was paid for the house and a bunch of other stuff on it, and then your name, the people renting it, blah, blah, the people who own it, all that other stuff. So it looks a little bit different. So yeah, you'll have to get that proof of residency. And then you also have to have like at least 6 months to a year of proof of income. So basically you can just, use your W-2s, and this should be from, again, like I recommend, some sort of remote job or some sort of remote business that you operate, and you need to have your proof of income from that. So once you have your necessary documents, you want to go to the bank, make an appointment and everything like that. So if you don't speak Portuguese, just hire a translator. So you might need to also just, book in advance or plan that in advance. And it also depends on the city you're moving to. So if you're moving to Sao Paulo, just tell them that you don't speak Portuguese and you need an English translator or blah, blah, or someone that speaks English. So many people in Sao Paulo speak English already. So it might not be that hard. They'll probably, if they don't have it at one particular branch, they'll probably send you to another. But like a lot of people in Sao Paulo speak English. So if you're moving there, you'll probably find someone to translate for you easily, or, speaking English with you easily or easier than other cities, like in Salvador or Curitiba or whatever. But Rio, Sao Paulo, you'll have a little bit of luck finding someone that speaks English. But, if you can't, just get a translator. So yeah, then you complete your application form, and then you're gonna get an account application. So you fill out your personal information, your name, your address, your contact details, and all the other requested information. Then you give them your documentation, so your passport, your CPF, your proof of residency, your proof of income. Other forms, like I said, is really dependent on the bank. Some banks require some pieces of information, like a background check, and other banks don't. So then you got to just review the terms, the conditions on the account, all the fees, because a lot of these banks have little fees, minimum balance requirements, and all the other details that would be important to know, that make your account in good standing and keep it active. Overdraft fees as well, and make sure you understand the services available to you. Some banks charge over international transaction fees and all this other stuff. So make sure you understand what type of services your account has as well. That's very important to go over. So once your account is completed and your documents have been processed, the bank is going to activate your account. So they'll provide you with your details and your account number, and they'll issue you a debit card and everything. And then you're going to have to go and set up your account online, create a username, password, all that stuff, download the app, all that other stuff, set up pics and all that stuff. So, yeah. So, like I said, that's pretty much the process. Different banks require different things. So again, do your research. I'm not going to recommend any. I'm just telling you what I use, which is NUBANK and Banco Brazil. So yeah, just do your research, see what services you might need, see what services are available at different banks, and get your documents ready. And just as a side note, a lot of the things you do in Brazil or a lot of these countries where you might want to become an expat, the process is going to be the same. The documents are going to be the same. You're going to need a proof of income. You're going to need your background checks. You're going to need, whatever ID number, like in Brazil, it's the CPF number. So you're going to need that. So a lot of these things are the same. So once you have these core documents, you're probably going to be using them for a lot of the same things, or a lot of different things. Sorry. You're going to be using them for a lot of different things. So make sure you get these core documents, which are your background checks, your proof of income, your proof of, residency, your proof of, your proof of, your passport, whatever. And just those type of documents, those type of sort of administrative documents that you might need to fill out applications for things and all that other stuff. Because buying a house is going to be pretty much the same. It's going to be, you're going to need, the background checks, your bank accounts, your passports, all that stuff. You're gonna need not only proof of income, but they're gonna want to see what's in your accounts as well. You're gonna need like your Brazilian credit line as well. So yeah, that's some of the things that you should set up within the first year of getting here. You know, try and get like all those little things set up, like all those documents squared away. So as you start to do things here, you can just use those documents and the process is easier, because there is quite a bit of bureaucracy here in Brazil. Like, things take time, you know, offices are slow. It's a hassle to deal with some things, but you can get it done easier in some places than others. There's a little bit of bureaucracy to deal with, so just make sure you have your documents straight. And that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to answer this quick question because it's a question I see a lot and I haven't really seen many people answer it, and especially in regards to Brazil. So yeah, thanks Gabby again for the comment. And for other people who have left comments, I'm working 2 jobs right now, right? I'm, you know, trying to get to as many comments as possible and basically create a video answering a lot of the questions that you guys have, especially in regards to Brazil and moving to Brazil. So again, this is Rocky in real time, and I hope this video has provided some value for you out there. Peace.